Hi, I'm Matthew with Peoria, and today we're continuing our discussion on the Ten Commandments. We are on commandment number 3, don't take God's name in vain. But first, we kind of have to talk about hot dogs. Now, I want you to imagine that you're a veggie hot dog farmer in the ancient world, because that's totally a real job. And you're trying to trade the last of your hot dogs for this year for some chocolate, which is always a good idea. The problem is you don't have enough soybeans to pay for it. So you tell the chocolate farmer your problem and that you'll give him the rest of the hot dogs that you owe him next year, if he'd only give you his chocolate now. The question is, why would the chocolate farmer believe that you would follow through? What stops you from just taking the chocolate and running? The answer is because you took an oath. Something like, "As the Lord lives, I will repay you, or may God do to me as I deserve." Basically, you're inviting God into the deal, into the contract, as the chocolate farmer's agent, so to speak. He's there, God is there, in the deal to make sure you do what you promised. Hence, the third commandment, you shall not take the name of Yahweh your God in vain, for Yahweh will not hold guiltless anyone who takes his name in vain. The word vain here is often translated false or worthless, meaningless or useless. The general meaning of the command is, don't make God's name false or worthless or meaningless or useless. Wait though, isn't the third commandment about swearing? You know, words like and Did you just bleep that out? Seriously? I didn't even say anything bad, you sons of I said chickens! Anyways, there's something to be said about the words we use. And that's not really the concern of the commandment, however. And it's really important to recognize this because so many Christians just read this commandment and say, oh, it's about swearing, and then they move on to the next commandment. They don't really think deeply about the third commandment. The word for taking the Lord's name is the Hebrew word nasa. No, not NASA. NASA? Hey, Judith, the ancient Jews went to space. Zooming along, protecting the Hebrew race. What does nasa mean? It means to take, but also to carry or to bear. So God's name is something that we can carry with us. But what does that mean? In Exodus 33, Moses asks to see God's glory. The text says that the Lord passed by before Moses and proclaimed, the Lord, the compassionate and gracious God, slow to anger and abounding in loyal love and faithfulness, keeping loyal love for thousands, forgiving iniquity and transgression and sin. God is saying, do you want to know my name? Do you want to know who I am? And then God just unloads on Moses all of these virtues that make up who God is. And there, at the end of that list of virtues, is the word forgiveness. Except forgiveness here is our friend Nasa. Forgiveness is the carrying away of something, the taking away of something, the bearing of something. So the God who nasa'd your sins is asking you to nasa his name. God became the sin bearer so that you could become his name bearer. Amen. If you take the name of God onto your lips, then you take the name of God into your life. So the commandment cautions us not to do that lightly. Don't use God's name to shame people or to hide your ambition. Don't be a know-it-all. Carrying God's name should keep us humble. When you take the name of God, you take on the responsibility of showing who he is. And he's gracious and slow to anger and abounding in love and faithfulness and, forgiveness. I think about that and I'm like, man, how could I live up to that? How could I carry his name and not dishonor his reputation? Simply grace. But when we begin our day with the awareness that we bear the name of God, it changes us. It puts things in perspective because as we carry this name, we begin to resemble the new name that we have in Jesus. We become a different person as we bear the name of God, because the best is yet to come. I'll see you guys next time for commandment number 4. With Jews out in space, it's all of Israel.
we'll put it right back in its place. When Goyle attack us, we'll give him a smack, we'll slap him right back in the face. And who's out in space is coming along from head to the head.